Welcome to my new YouTube channel, which is Books with Karen, and I'm Karen. I thought I'd start off with the Booktube Newbie Tag so you could kind of get to know me and get to know what I like to read and see if this channel is going to be a good fit for you. So let's jump right in. The first question is, why did you start this channel? I do have another YouTube channel called Georgie Grandma. And if anybody has come over from that channel, then thank you so much for coming over. And on that channel, I talk about lots of lifestyle things. I'm a 61-year-old grandma from the northeast of England, and I talk about basically shopping hauls, clothing, just my daily life in general. And on that channel, I had started to do a few videos about books, and I also do a live book review once a month. So the book videos on my other channel don't get a ton of views, and I think it's because they're mixed up with everything else. So I thought it would be a good idea to start a new channel that was totally dedicated to books and all things books. So that's basically why I started this new channel. Second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to YouTube or Booktube, I would imagine? I don't know about fun, but maybe unique is the fact that I am older. I watch a lot of Booktube channels, but the majority of them are younger women, which there's nothing wrong with that. I really enjoy watching them, but I just thought it would be nice for the older age group to be represented as well. And I also think I'm going to be doing a bit of book journaling on this channel. Maybe not very often, but now and again, I think as I'm reviewing a book, I'll show you how I set up my book journal review page just to remind me what the book was about. The third question is, what are you most excited about for your channel? I'm really excited to just dedicate a channel totally to books, reading books, chatting about books, and I'm excited to meet some people who are into the same kind of books as me, and just want to talk about books and love books. The fourth question is, why do you love reading? Why do you love reading? I've read since I was a very young age, since 5-6 years old. I've read all my life, and I just find it very comforting to sit down with a good book, get carried away with it. You forget the time, you forget where you are. It's a bit of escapism. You can get into other people's lives, other people's situations that you would normally be in. I just love to read. Fifth question is, what book series got you into reading? I think I've got two answers to this question. And I think initially, probably when I was about maybe 7, 8, I read a series of books by Enid Blyton called Mallory Towers. And if you're my age, you may remember that, which is about girls at a boarding school. And it fascinated me. And once I'd read one, I wanted to read the others. And there was a whole series of them. Just really enjoyed those. And I probably read throughout my years up until I was maybe 14, 15, and then I think you get sidetracked with other interests and you forget about reading for a while. And I think I was about 18 when I got back into reading, and the book series, not strictly a series, but the books that got me back into reading at 18 were Jackie Collins books, and specifically a book called Lovers and Gamblers by Jackie Collins, and I think Hollywood Wives as well. I just loved those books. I've read them several times over the years. Jackie Collins just had her own way of writing, and I just found them wholly entertaining, fascinating. So that's what book series got me into reading initially, and then back into reading when I was a little bit older. The sixth question, what questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? The first one is definitely, how do you get through so many books a month? You see booktubers saying, I've read 32 books this month, and it's just, how? When do you find time to do that? I don't know how people do that. I know that they tend to read a book and they'll listen to an audio book and they'll read maybe more than one at a time. I don't have the time to read that many books. So you're not going to get at the end of a month 30 books I've read, because I just won't read that many. Sorry, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat, I think. You may get, I've read 6, maybe 8 books a month, but it's going to be realistic. And I think the other question I would ask them, if you are reading that many books, when you come to do your reading wrap up, how do you remember them all? I think keeping a book journal for me has helped me remember the books that we do on the live book review. And otherwise I would forget the plot. There are some books that have stuck in my mind for lots and lots of years, and I will do a separate video on that. But yeah, I would find it difficult to remember 30 books. So that's a thing that I'd like to ask them. How do you remember? Question 7 is, what challenges will be the hardest with doing a Booktube channel? And it's definitely for me going to be remembering the books I've read. But like I've said, the journaling is going to help. I take notes as I'm reading, specifically if I know I'm going to be talking about them on a video, I'll definitely take some notes. But that is going to be the hardest thing for me, remembering the plots and who was in it. Question 8, when did you start reading? I think I said in a previous question, I probably started reading, I remember reading noddy books probably when I was about 5. And then, like I said, the Mallory Towers books, probably 7, 8 years old. So yeah, that's when I started reading. And also, like I said, started reading again when I was 18. Question 9, where do you read? Has to be in a comfy chair. I can't read in the bath. I can't read in bed anymore because I fall asleep. Again, if you're around my age, you might sympathise with that. When I'm on holiday, I read a lot more because it's just so easy. You haven't got anything else to do, have you really? If you're on one of those relaxing holidays, so much easier to read, but definitely in a comfy chair. And a lot of the time, I wake up very early in the morning, so I'm sometimes up 3, 4 o'clock, definitely going to sit and read then. Very relaxing, nobody else around in the house, very peaceful, very easy to sit and read. And question 10, what kinds of books do you read? I have quite an eclectic taste in reading, so I've read everything from the Twilight novels to things like Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I like Sophie Hannah's books, so lots of detective novels, just different kinds of books. I'm open to reading anything. And that is one of the main reasons I did start a book club online. We usually vote for which book we want out of a choice of 4 each month. And there has been some books in that I wouldn't normally have picked up and read without the book club. They're just not something I would have picked up off the shelf. So I do like to read a lot of different things. I don't particularly like romance novels. Things like, I think there was a book that went around the cinnamon bun store or something, things like that. I'm not really into that kind of romancy, everything works out well, the woman gets a man kind of book. Not really my thing, although I would read it if it was on the book club's book of the month. I would read it, but it's not something I would pick up. So those are the 10 Booktube Newbie Tag questions. I hope you found that interesting. I will have some other videos that you can go and watch, so I will put them at the end of the video here, just in case you want to jump over and watch another one from me. So if you have come over from my Jodie Grandma channel, thank you so much for coming over. I hope you do subscribe and stick with us. And if you've never seen me before, I hope you will subscribe as well and chat about books going forward. So thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.